Hey graduates, so I am sure by now you have heard that the ex-producer of Partner Draw TV, Wayne, has done his launch of his new YouTube channel. So I'm going to give some constructive feedback to producer Wayne, and also to his followers as well, in terms of what I think of the launch, and just to give some useful ideas in terms of how to go forward. Now, well done to Wayne for stepping out into social media. It is never an easy thing to do, particularly if you are a personality that is usually behind the camera and now you are in front of the camera. It can be initially quite daunting, and you will feel quite out of sorts initially. So I do think that people need to be patient with the process. It is something that is completely new for Wayne, and when he did start, he did make it clear that this is not his comfort zone. He is definitely stepping outside of that, and so we do need to respect that. Not everybody can come across as a natural on camera personality at first. This can be a process for people like Wayne, and I think that in time he will become more comfortable being on screen like everybody else, right? So, the purpose of the launch was to discuss the focus of PW Global TV. I really liked the fact that he wanted to bring together global issues in one space in terms of how that may impact on the Jamaican community. And it really is about broadening the knowledge horizon of the viewers. It's about looking at the current or trending issues, as well as those hidden issues for which there is very little voice. I liked the whole idea of the people's perspective, giving the opportunity for individuals to call in and potentially to have panels of discussion or debates around critical subjects. All of those were brilliant ideas. And what I can see of the ex producer Wayne is that he is a person that is filled with ideas. I can tell exactly what kind of role he would have had in Andre Stevens's team. A very valuable person is one that acts as a muse to inspire and to drive ideas that will propel the discussions and the atmosphere of a social media personality. And you can tell that Wayne has that wealth of knowledge, that kind of open-minded approach in terms of subjects that can be discussed that will have an impact on an audience. Okay. So, in terms of constructive criticism, what I will say, Wayne, is that because this is fairly new to you, and you are not necessarily an upfront personality when it comes to the camera, a great way to really get yourself grounded is to ensure that you have got great sideline personalities who will come onto your program and help to boost the atmosphere, who will more or less pull out, controversial or fascinating things that they will say, that will kick off more of a discussion. I know that on the first event you were avoiding the comments because we all know that the launch has come at a time when there are factions between yourself and Andre Stevens and his ardent followers. However, on this occasion I would say that your audience was fairly well behaved. You did have quite a few very good points being raised in the comments, which I think would have really helped, that if you interacted with your audience, it would have inspired further discussion. It would have sparked your responses to be more interactive. And then it would also value the crucial input of the opinions of others. So I know that on this occasion it was deliberate. I am certain in the future you will be looking to the comment section and picking up on some of the things that people are saying, particularly if you are taking the route of being the voice of the voiceless. I also think that it would be a very, very I would say, important or necessary move to have your own jingle. I think your jingle needs to be free of any images or connections of your past role. I think if you are saying that you're moving on and letting go, that you should let go 100% and avoid anything that's reminiscent of that past situation. I think that you are entitled to have your own type of style, your own type of presentation style, as well as your own music, your own song. You also mentioned that your program is secular, which means that it is not a religious program. There are no biases in terms of whether or not you have a Christian faith or otherwise, that it's open to everybody. Your initial song that you played was definitely based on religion. I personally would say that if you're wanting to open your platform to people of varying beliefs or backgrounds, that you may want to do away with that type of song, as much as I enjoyed it, because I did, and just basically come up with something a bit more neutral. When it comes to your guests on your show, you want to make sure that you have firm commitments, that people who claim that they're going to be participating are serious about it, and that there is a clear objective in terms of what you wish for them to come on this, come into the space to discuss, so that they are prepared, that they have got their notes or their perspective quite ironed out, so that your show flows very well when it comes to introducing other people onto your platform. I think that as much as the advertising of the event stated that there would be guests, it was unfortunate that there was only one guest, and that one guest really wanted to shy away from the discussions based on her own perspective or her own focus in terms of social media. I do think it's about making sure that your guests are appropriate, so that they have got the wealth of knowledge to discuss certain topics that you bring to the fore. Now, there was a particular comment made where somebody stated that they believe that Wayne should remain as a producer as opposed to a presenter. I think that while that was a really harsh comment, it was due to the fact that this was his first time, and he was not necessarily as fluent as a presenter because it was an awkward moment for him. But I'm going to ask you to just bear with and have some patience, because everybody grows and develops over time, and perhaps let's not jump the gun to pigeonhole anybody in terms of where they can grow to. He has got a wealth of ideas, and I think that if he uses his platform well, he can certainly grow and develop from that. I would advise that if you are looking for topics, open up the floor to your audience. Let them give you ideas as well. What would they like to discuss? Because often the people will give you their reasoning as to why they would want to support your platform. You have got some ideas in your head you definitely want to bring to fruition, and that's all brilliant, particularly the one that you want to discuss. I believe it was religion, weapons, and democracy, which is brilliant. But when you give such a wide subject, I would like you to narrow down exactly what areas of religion, exactly what areas of weapon and democracy you wish to explore, so that you give a really sharp focus to each of the discussions that you bring to the table, and that the people who come on board for those kind of debates are people who are pertinent to the subject. I do believe that you have some great groundings there for a platform that can grow. Finding your own style is something that does not come easily. It is, in fact, a learning curve that most of us, if not all of us, on social media have had to grapple with. Some people instantly know their purpose. Some people, their purpose comes in time. Now, You seem to know exactly what it is that you want out of your platform. Do not let go of your goal. You have set your prize that you're working towards. Keep pressing on, and you will earn the respect of your audience, who will start to look forward to your program every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 p.m. UK time. That was a free advert. Now, all I'm going to say is that do not be too caught up with necessarily being on screen. You have got the technological knowledge within which you can decide that, listen, I don't want to show my face, but my graphics will speak for me, and I will have something else going on, be it it's a guest speaker or somebody's calling in on the show. It's not necessarily about the image of the person being there, but more about the voice and the content. So make sure that when you do come out, you're comfortable doing so and you're ready to do so. I understand camera shyness because I am also sometimes camera shy, but I use my graphics to kind of hide behind that when I'm not in the mood to necessarily be seen. And then when I feel confident and comfortable, I come out with my full face. And my audience understands me that way, so they do not mind. So Wayne, I'm going to say be flexible in your presentation style. There is nothing that says you have to always be on camera. I really love the fact that you insisted on the focus of your program. You did not allow yourself to get sidetracked with the other stuff that was happening on social media. However, I think initially at the very beginning, the audience definitely came on in full force because they really wanted to hear about Wayne, the ex-producer of Partner Draw TV. And because they didn't get that sus, they didn't get that bangarang, the numbers dropped considerably because they came there looking for what we categorize as mix-up. It was good that you avoided that. I'm not going to lie, I think it would have probably kicked off your channel in terms of the numbers, but not necessarily in terms of positive energy. So by keeping it on a level, you made sure that that negative energy was kept at bay. That was wise. Now that you have done your launch, going forward, think about this. You are going to be bringing something unique and different to social media. Avoid areas that have been tackled by particular personalities. Avoid styles that have been used by particular personalities without calling any names, so that it does not look as though you are still trying to exist in this person's shadow. You are your own person, your own personality, and therefore you should not need to lean on anything or anything reminiscent of that past space. Look within yourself and see, what is this man, Wayne, all about, and how can I show that to my audience? How can I separate myself as a unique and value-added contribution to YouTube as a platform, so that when they come over here, it's something different? So always ask yourself, has this been done before? If it's been done before, how do I do it differently? What can I do to innovate on this? And how can I put my own stamp on it so that people say that's a PW Global TV situation, that is a producer Wayne video, and nobody else will do it like that? I think once you get to that, you will then be on the right path. You will be flying. So once again, like I said, some of the things that I saw were reminiscent of that past role you had. And I think you can do away with it all. Do away with the jingle. Do away with the the particular song that you use during your intermission with images of that person. You don't need that on your space, so that when people come there, they're coming there with fresh eyes. They're not coming there with any baggage. They're coming there particularly for you. And that's what will give you an authentic audience, not an audience with crossed boundaries or with vendettas or agendas, but an audience that is here to listen to what you have to say or what your panel is discussing or participate. That's what you're looking for. So, once again, congratulations on your launch. You have done a brave thing, stepping out into social media. You will, on this growth curve, develop, and you will find your niche and you will excel as long as you're determined and you stick to it and you keep being consistent. I love the topics. I think that that's going to generate a lot of discussion. But make sure that you continue to use those skills, those transferable skills that you've always had, so that they're well researched, that you explain things clearly. Like, for example, when you spoke about pipe bombs, it would have been great to have examples of what pipe bombs can do, how dangerous they are, where else have they been used, and in what situations, so that people can start to connect the dots about how serious things are when it comes to the finding of the 120 in Jamaica. It's important that you never presume that your audience is informed. Always presume they don't have the knowledge, and that your role there is to give them the knowledge that they may be missing. That way you will cover all bases. Everything will be more engaging because you will have knowledge gaps that are being met. And I think that that is the purpose of your program. Correct me if I'm misinformed, but that's what I picked up. That you want to close the gaps in the knowledge of the Jamaican people around things that may be just basically going under the radar because it is not a high headline matter, but yet it's still a serious one. So inform us as your audience. Tell us the things that we don't know. Give us examples, real life examples that we can draw to the situation so that we can arrive at the best conclusion. I think it is important to note that many people want to develop their understanding, but often people speak at them rather than speak with them. And when you speak at people, then you are going to make a lot of assumptions around what they understand. When you speak with people, you will identify that there are certain things that are just not understood, and therefore you need to inform properly so that once that background knowledge is built, you can boost knowledge with any kind of extra detail or debates around a subject. Anyway, like I said, big up yourself, Wayne, and well done for doing this. And I do hope that you continue to grow and that you continue to get more and more support as your channel develops. I look forward to the future events, and yes, I was present for the launch. I can't promise I'm going to be there for every single one of your shows, but I will certainly be tuning in. And graduates, as we are on this platform, we are very open, we're very objective. And also, we don't have a problem visiting other platforms, and there's never any restrictions on who you support or who you choose not to. But I do encourage you to open your minds to fellow Jamaicans who are trying to develop their social media platforms in a positive way. Once it's not negative, I think it's really important that we do try and support that. So if any of you wish to go and take a look at the launch, please do so, and to help to welcome him on board as well. Anyway, this is your girl, Head Teacher K.